Welcome to the August edition of Kiwanis Club of Easton. We are so glad you are here. We are so thrilled to have our special guests today. Please join with me as we say, stand and join, pledge allegiance to the flag, followed by a rousing edition of God Bless America. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On this note, God bless America, and that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Thank you, everybody. Please be seated. We'll have to take that down a couple of thirds next time. I just want to take a moment and welcome our special guests, Mrs. Linda Sherman, Kelly, and Tracy. I almost said Lauren. I knew that wasn't right. Laura's over there on the corner there. Buddy Shaw. And Christina all from the EMS. We're so delighted you're here. We're so thrilled to be honoring Mr. Sherman in our annual presentation of the Easton Emergency Squad of the year. So we are going to go right into an overview of the award.
Want to do a minute of inspiration?
Oh, yes.
Agenda?
Yes, we must definitely be inspired, and Barbara's going to do it for us.
So many things are possible, just as long as you don't know they are impossible. Another one here, this one from Rosa Parks. To bring about change, you must not be afraid to take the first step.
That's right.
And one more quick one here. It's the possibility of having a dream come true that makes life interesting.
Thank you, Barbara. Yes. Things to ponder and think about. Walt, over to you, buddy.
Thank you. So it is my pleasure as chairman of the Easton Kiwanis Club Awards Committee to give an overview of how this award actually came about. Back in 2022, why just as we were meeting on Zoom through the COVID problem, our awards committee started discussing about the fact that since 1981, we were recognizing an Easton Police Officer of the Year each year. And in 2015, we started recognizing a member of the Easton Fire Department as a recipient. And the discussion went, well, you know, the Easton Emergency Squad members are first responders in a sense. They went through with COVID and so forth like that, like police officers, firefighters, and nurses and others. Would it be appropriate to recognize members of the emergency squad? And since Easton is the squad that actually services the city of Easton, there was some discussion also about Forks squad, except that they're suburban. So, and so is Palmer Township has suburban, but Easton has its own. So we decided, the committee decided that we'll recognize each year somebody from the Easton Emergency Squad as the Easton Emergency Squad Member of the Year. This year, the recipient, whose name was sent to me by Buddy Shaw, the president of the board of directors of the Easton Emergency Squad, the recipient is going to be recognized posthumously. His name is Kyle R. Sherman. And as James mentioned, we have Kyle's wife Linda here and his daughter Kelly and his daughter Tracy. We also have the operations manager for the Easton Emergency Squad, Christina. So that's an overview. This will be the third year now. We did the first recipient in 2020, actually in 2022 for the year of 2021. We did one last year in 2023 for the 2022 year. And now this year we're doing Kyle for the recipient for 2023 and the 2024 year. So, buddy, I'm going to turn this over to you to make some remarks about why Kyle was deserving of being a recipient for this award. I'll give you a microphone too, so that people, there are some people actually we're still doing Zoom. Matter of fact, Dr. Wildrick is actually in Washington State.
Okay, I won't be very long, about 20 minutes. I have about 12 pages that I prepared. I just like to start out that way, that it doesn't seem so bad. Good afternoon, and thank you to the Kiwanis Club of Easton for inviting the Easton Emergency Squad to participate in your activities today, and again acknowledging emergency medical services as part of the public safety trilogy. When your club asked the emergency squad to choose an individual to be recognized as EMS Person of the Year, two words immediately came to mind: service and dedication. As the very nature of the vocation, sorry, I didn't wear my glasses either. I came right from work to here, so. By the very nature of the vocation, those are qualities that are consistent with providing care to the sick and injured, and something that we continue to expect of all paramedics and emergency medical technicians. So how does one go about naming just one individual to be the recipient of such an honor? It would seem reasonable to attempt to choose someone who has gone above and beyond in servicing the community as an EMS practitioner. As many of you probably are aware, the Easton Emergency Squad recently went through a very trying period that required substantial rebuilding and a near complete overhaul of our operations as a whole. In addition to the members of the board, there were many core people who all worked together as a team to assure the survival of the organization and rebuild it. A few loyal employees remained, but it was necessary to hire a significant number of new people. The result has been a fresh, more vibrant service with even better quality care than we had previously. These circumstances placed us in a difficult position when endeavoring to select an emergency medical services person of the year. While we're certain that many of the new employees are quite deserving, we believed it would be premature to name one of them at this early stage in their careers with our organization. As we pondered this conundrum, our thoughts, and mine in particular, went immediately to some of the individuals who have been crucial to Easton Emergency Squad's growth and success over the years, without whom we would not likely be in existence today. Easton Emergency Squad has had numerous volunteers and employees that have been more than worthy of this recognition, but unfortunately have passed before this award came into being. With this in mind, we have chosen Kyle R. Sherman to posthumously be the recipient of the Kiwanis 2023 Easton EMS Person of the Year. Kyle began as a dedicated EMT for the Williams Township Emergency Squad, giving countless hours over decades as a volunteer, serving not only as an EMT, but as the captain and the president of that organization. He and his family resided immediately next door to the squad building, and Kyle found ways to involve his wife, Linda, and their entire family. Years later, as Easton Emergency Squad provided advanced life support service to Williams Township, Kyle and his family volunteered as members of Easton Emergency Squad as well. He ran calls, covered many standbys, and frequently utilized his talents as a premier mechanic to service and repair Eastern Emergency Squad ambulances and equipment. Somehow, Kyle still found time to serve on our board of directors, not only as a member, but also as the president. I must mention again that Kyle did all this as a dedicated volunteer while working a demanding job at Arcelor Middle, which is formerly Bethlehem Steel, even assisting as an EMT at that location. Kyle's family was always his focus, but somehow he was able to give so much of himself to our community. As if all that is not enough, Kyle's story of influence and benefits to the Eastern Emergency Squad do not end there. As Williams Township Emergency Squad found it necessary to reach out because it was increasingly arduous to find volunteers and therefore continue service from their location, Kyle was paramount in facilitating the merger of that organization and the Eastern Emergency Squad, the result of which provided us to be in a position to weather our yet unforeseen challenges that were about to come and lay ahead. Kyle and Joe Fritz, another dedicated member that passed away this year, are without doubt to be credited with the current strength of our organization. At the time of his premature passing in 2019, Kyle was an active volunteer with Eastern Emergency Squad, recently retired from his employment, but continuing to serve on the board and as an active EMT. The void left by his death remains unfilled. Thank you.
Thank you so much, buddy. You know, as we live our lives, things don't always go the way we think they're going to go. We suffer some kind of trauma, an accident, personal health. Who do we call? We call 911. Who shows up? EMS. They're the first ones that show up. I've experienced it many times in my life, and you may have in your life. And we're always grateful for the presence, the kindness, the compassion, the cool head, doing what needs to be done. And Kyle, certainly by your description, exemplified that on a level that most of us can't even comprehend. Above and beyond are words that seem too small to describe his impact and his contributions. We are more than pleased to present this award to you, Linda, on his behalf. And will you come up here and stand with me now? Buddy, would you come up here too, please? So I'll read this. This is in recognition of outstanding service as the Emergency Squad Member of the Year 2023, even though we know that this was a past event, a past recognition. This award is presented to Kyle R. Sherman, Easton Emergency Squad, and presented by the Kiwanis Club of Easton in recognition of and in appreciation for an outstanding year, many years, really, of public service in which Kyle R. Sherman exemplified the professionalism of the Easton Emergency Squad and the entire EMS profession. And we present this to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I know Kyle would be very happy to accept this. That's all I got.
Yeah.
That's fine. Thank you.
Janet, come on up. Buddy, would you like to say a few more words?
Just like I said, it's not only Kyle, his entire family has been very involved over the years. Kyle was truly an outstanding person, and I wish that he was here to accept it,
Yeah.
but I'm very pleased that the club gave us this opportunity to recognize him. I appreciate it. Thank you.
We have a box that we'll put that in, and we'll so that you can take that home and display that. We recognize that Kyle by himself can't do what he did without the support of you and his family. And in honor of that, our Lieutenant Governor-elect will,
No, we just want to say thank you for doing what you've done to support him and the family, that what you, you know, you were standing next to him all the way. So we have some flowers for you.
Thank you.
And we're just gonna leave them here, but we just want to say thank you for doing what you did to support him in his role. And thank you for allowing us to honor him.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you.
And I know this is a small picture, but please take a moment to pause while you're reading or after the meeting to come by and take a look at the image of Kyle here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.